What's up, guys? Barry Gaming here, back with some more Idle Heroes, and today we are going to go over the battle phase. We've already had the first day of fights, which we'll probably go over next month or next week. Next 2 weeks? 2 weeks from now, we'll go over the day one strategies again, now that we know a good idea of how to go about maximizing your points. But this is going to be day 2. This is the battle results screen you will see when you jump into your guild wars on the second day. We are Broken Sons. We ranked up to the next class. So this is what shows you how you promote. And then we are in the new icon down here. We're in Shining Crystal, which now means there are more teams to fight in here. There are now 22 teams, because one thing to remember about this is every time you rank up to a new tier, you remember how you set up 5 lineups on that first preparation day? Your first lineup gets added in Golden Amber, your second one Shining Crystal, all the way up to Royal Amethyst. So there's going to be a lot of strategy going on. You'll notice there's a lot of very fodder teams here, like really easy fodder teams. So this is where strategy is really going to come into play here. Because you can only use your hero one time, but you can fight all of these at the same time. Well, not at the same time. You can fight all of them in the same day. There's some strategy involved. You don't want to just plug in your most powerful team and try to beat all 24 teams in here. A good strategy that we have found is setting up teams that can beat, say, up to maybe here. You want to try to make your power level enough that you can win half the battles. Because it doesn't matter if you beat this team right here at the top, or if you beat the team all the way at the bottom. They all count as the same number of points. One way you can see what you are at and what everybody else has. Oh, look at that. They're just giving us the down arrow already, even though nobody has done anything. And that is interesting. I don't know if you guys have this the same thing, but we were previously matched up with Legions, Exiles, and Extinction in our round 1. So it almost seems like they are just combining groups. I thought it would be a 100% reroll, but we are actually grouped with the same 2 out of the 5 guilds. So the other 2 that advanced with us to the second level are in our same exact fight once again. That is really interesting. I didn't think it was going to happen like that. Okay, but you do get to see the carryover points as well. Let's see. Oh, this is what's going to start hurting your guild, is when you have people in your guild that are not fighting. You have to at least do some fights, get your guild some points. It really makes all the difference in the world. So the interesting thing is, though, I like Wilbur's idea. We're on Twitch right now. I like Wilbur's idea that the top 3 move together, but these 2 had to come from somewhere else that moved up with 2 other people. So it kicked one out, maybe? I don't know. I don't like it, though, right now, because now we are the highest number server in our group, which probably doesn't bode well for us, but we'll have to see how it works out. As the days go on, of course, you will keep advancing, regressing, or staying where you are at. Based on that, you'll fight teams and guilds that are more to your power level. So those of you who did not advance and are on newer servers and are in Golden Amber, hopefully today you face more teams that are more appropriate to your level. Again, you'll probably have some that are still pretty strong, but as the days go on, the teams in Golden Amber will get easier and easier, which will make it easier potentially for you to raise up to maybe Shining or Starry in the last couple of days. So this is going to be interesting for us. I was not expecting us at 47 to be one of the lowest, or rather highest number, aka newest server in the group. So we'll have to see how this works out. But the strategy still holds pretty similar. You can use every single hero one time at least. One time only, sorry. But there's one interesting thing that happens in this is there's a big shuffle of gear. So what you can do, say I throw in my 2 Russells for my first round fights. After that, I can completely strip my Russells of gear and start throwing it on my level 100 heroes. You can keep recycling your gear over and over and over. So if you want to 100% optimize your run, you're going to want to make a lot of 5-star heroes, a lot of them up to level 100 that are in your bag, and use them as fodder. That's going to be the most effective way to do it, because you can basically use 60 heroes. You need 60 heroes to do this event, because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different garrisons to fight. So yeah, it's pretty interesting strategy that's going to be involved, because you'll have a lot of teams that are pretty much weaker than your average team, but the power level for us is going to ramp up really, really fast. And of course, when you get down the bottom, you have like the tier 1 teams essentially. So you need to play it smart. Try to pick your fights and try to pick the weak opponents when you can. There's so many double Garudas, and they happen so fast. So it really just depends on what you're going up against. But at the least, guys, please, 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 just fight some fights. Get some points for your guild. If you are not participating in this, you are hurting 20 to 29 other people in your guild from getting better rewards. Because at the end of the day, getting this Royal Amethyst frame might be pretty game changing. The control immunity might be very, very relevant with heroes like Sherlock around and Russell's with Dazzle. It could be very relevant. Plus, of course, just the guild coins, and then eventually the glory invitation as well will play a role. Not in yet, but it will play a role. But yeah, this is going to be very interesting to see how it works out. Of course, you can hit the show fort info. What the show info button does is shows the buffs that your leaders and your officials have appointed. So these buffs, I believe, last, let me see, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, yeah. So these buffs last the entire time of the Guild Wars. So you get 10 per day. You can see they're assigning them on certain spots to hopefully give you a little bit of an edge. If you wanted to know what it looks like, this is what the official setup looks like. You can pick the location and then spend the resources to try to give yourself a little bit of an edge. You can give your team attack, you can give your team HP, you can give it control immunity, you can give it crit damage, and all damage reduction. So I'm really surprised, actually, we haven't really assigned any all damage reduction. I thought that would have been the best one to give, really. Because what these buffs do is they buff your attacking. So when we come in here, we see we have 3% control immunity against all the enemies. Every time you fight in here, you get an additional 3% control immunity in your favor. I'm going to have to do a little more research, but at least in my opinion, I thought Earthly Shelter would be the best one to give so far. We'll have to see. That is very, very interesting because we haven't given any. What do you guys think? Let me know what you think the best buff is. I mean, I feel like the best would probably be health or all damage reduction. All damage reduction just sounds so powerful. That's crazy. How much does this give? Like, this is 36% HP. Good lord. That's a lot of health. Wow. Wow. Actually, health might be the best one. It gives 18% per buff. I don't think attack's worth it. I really don't. I think all damage reduce and vitality need to be used on the locations that you really want to punch through and have everybody focus their most powerful team on. That way you can get the most points. Right now, it looks like we're heavily invested in the blacksmith. Yeah, trying to beat all the double Garuda teams. It could make all the difference in the world because you have to remember the defensive teams will not get any fort buffs. So that is the advantage you do. When you come in here and challenge, you can set up your normal 6-player lineup. Make sure you pick your monster. The monster you can use every single time. But as you start going through heroes, make sure you jump out of Guild Wars, come into your actual hero slots, and even when you're putting the 10 stars in, give them their full set of gear, your pay-to-win gear, your best class set gear, everything, anything to give you an advantage and hopefully get more points. Because even if you can just jump into here and beat 1 or 2 teams, I think it's what? I think you get 10 points per win. So even if you can just beat a couple, it can be a difference in winning and losing for your guild overall. So hopefully it's a little bit more helpful. We'll probably go over this for the next week over and over. Look forward to next Monday. We'll go over strategies for the first day, because the first day is usually the easiest for most people. A lot of easy lineups to kill, depending on your group. We got a little lucky. We got weak opponents, but let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys next time.